Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in the Desert Dark Crusade, Season 2. On this fine evening, we have the ever honourable Menmon, Hound Menmon, neonate of Clan La Sombra, on his way to discuss a matter of importance to his ally. He has made his way over to the rather fetid domain of Riverside, a broken, corrupt neighborhood. The slums of the slums, where the worst of the worst reside. And yet, for once, things appear to be looking up there, as the City Watch has had a change in management. The old City Watch captain has been arrested, and with it, many of the gangs within Riverside are set to be toppled. Raids happening as Menmon walks throughout the street itself. Menmon, as you walk through, you do see the rapid movements of the guards. Actually, this is a very different. The way they respond to you is far different than before. One, they're actually present in the areas that you wander through. You see guards, well-armed guards, moving around you and you see those. And when the first lot of 6, they appear to be traveling in fairly large groups, spot you, they actually surround you remarkably proficiently and ask for your papers, which you're able to provide. And then they leave you be. They apologize for the trouble and move on. But it's not. It is not a case of slack-jawed morons or obviously bribed officials who just happen to look the other way whenever a crime takes place, or just avoid patrolling in certain neighborhoods, or just neglect to do their duties at all. This is a neighborhood that has been mobilized to some extent. The small folks still don't dare to come out of their homes, particularly at night, but the guards, the military, they're out and about. You actually some areas, some neighborhoods, some roads are even closed, and guards are actually quite polite about this. They just send you down the other way. So it does take a while to reach your destination, but you can literally see as you walk by a house being raided by about 5 guards. Figures wearing bells and balaclavas being dragged out. One looks like they were killed in the raid. The entire atmosphere of Riverside appears to have been turned on its head. Before, it was very much a district at war, but in a way that felt like nothing had really changed. It was just a word. It was just a buzzword. It didn't really matter. The gangs here were more than capable enough of taking on a small military force, helping the City Watch. City Watch didn't do anything anyway. But now things have changed. The military is refocusing their efforts on Riverside, and the City Watch is actually trying to restore order. The law is actually being enforced. And as you approach the office, the guardhouse, you can actually see that that there are quite a lot of materials outside. Members of the Masons Guild and laborers that work for them have gathered up a great deal of construction materials, everything from timber to stone to brick, and that which to fuse it all together. And they appear to be planning something out of City Watch guards as you walk on by. Some of them recognize you, just kind of give you a wave. They're kind of surprised to see you here. But yeah, they kind of just continue on with their jobs. Looks like renovations are being planned.
Interesting. Interesting.
You actually see a minor member of nobility there. You can make me a politics roll if you want.
Oh, I don't have any politics.
Okay, can't make a roll then. It's a member of nobility, but you can't discern who it is from, who it is, or where they're from, or what their purpose might be here. But yeah, they also seem to be involved in the ongoings of Riverside. And yeah, you're just able to the City Watch just kind of escorts you up to the kind of medieval office of the City Watch captain.
Okay. Memnon would have kept a careful eye out as passing through the streets and all the chaos that is going on. He would just kept a careful eye out for Kristoff. So unless he didn't see him out there or as he's being escorted up the towards the office. Yes.
Yeah, he is there. He's yeah, you actually you see him kind of working the jailhouse, which is connected to the guardhouse. He still looks tired and overworked, but he does have more energy than he did before.
Good. Okay, so Memnon just feels that Kristoff is safe, at least that he's here. Would it be fair to say that Memnon could have arrived in his arm with his sword? It's for purposes of, I don't want to say showing off, but to help drive a sale home.
Are you a member of nobility in the city?
I guess not.
Carrying a weapon is illegal for you then.
Oh, it is? Jesus.
Yeah, if you're not a member of aristocracy, or you're not a member of the military or the City Watch on the job, or a prestigious member of society, basically. So obviously, like esteemed generals of the military can carry weapons around and all that, and officers, and certain City Watch captains and officers as well. And of course, all City Watch guards carry weapons on a job, but yeah, it's actually illegal to have weapons. Basically, it's treated as contraband.
Ah, okay.
You're not like common folk and merchants are not permitted to carry weapons. Doesn't stop them from trying. Doesn't stop them from succeeding, particularly with like knives and daggers, which are easily concealed. Right. But it is considered illegal. It's not yeah. Because I mean, what are you going to do? Give the peasants the means to revolt?
No.
Nah, we'll just kill them.
All right, it's common or close it is.
Yeah. I mean, you're a merchant, so you can carry merchant's clothing, but yeah, a weapon you'll need to conceal it. You wouldn't if you couldn't carry it openly, you'd get arrested.
It's okay. It's okay. It was just something for a proof of craftsmanship, but it's fine.
Oh yeah, you are a blacksmith. Yeah, if you gave advance notice, then you'd be permitted to take it as kind of an example of your work. Mm-hmm. You are allowed to transport goods around the city. You're just not allowed personal, Yeah. It's like it's difference between like, oh, these are goods for business and this is my person. It's like It's like if you're selling guns, right? Like, these are guns I sell for business. I'm allowed to transport them around. But this is the personal gun I use to shoot people. One of the one of those things is very different from the other.
Notice the lack of a serial number.
So yeah, it's yeah, a personal weapon isn't allowed, but yeah, if you want to show off if you want to show off your craftsmanship as sort of a business proposition, as long as they have advance notice, that would be allowed. But you would need to give advance notice because this is a part of town on lockdown right now, and that's pretty obvious. That's pretty obvious.
All right, I'll be simple. I'll just come in my merchant attire.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'll keep that in mind next time.
Yeah. Of course, if you have noble influence, you don't have to care. But yeah. Yeah, you're just escorted in. Guard tells you that Captain's out right now, but he should be back within the hour. He apologizes for the wait, but these matters take precedence. And yeah, you're kind of left to linger for about half an hour, maybe just over before the captain arrives. And let me just look up his name real quick because I do have it. I have it because I gave it to somebody. Um, his name is Hussam al-Din.
Al-Din.
Al-Din, yeah, let me just put in chat. Yeah. He's Christoph actually may have mentioned him offhand. Fairly like him. He was he was a member of he's a member of the City Watch Guard that kind of actually cares about the situation in Riverside and wants to resolve it properly. But obviously, considering his prior circumstances, never had the opportunity to do so. But yeah, as soon as he walks in, he says, Master Memnon, please take a seat. Apologies for the wait. We've been busy cleaning up this mess of a neighborhood.
It is no need for apologies, Captain. I understand the needs of your district take precedence. But yes, Memnon will take a seat.
Please forgive me if I get if I get directly to the point. I believe there are a couple of matters you wanted to discuss with me. I believe you had or you were going to have an arrangement with the old captain selling arms to the Watch.
Yes, I was hoping that in return for this favor, the captain might let my friend Christoph, who is part of your watch, if he would support a transfer to the Guildhall's watch.
I don't deal in favors and act in an official capacity, and to be completely frank, right now we need every man we can get. Christoph in particular is a good man. He actually cares about Riverside and has resolved to repair it, much like myself. There aren't enough men like him.
Indeed, I agree. Hence why I would even make such a trade or barter. He is a good friend of mine, and I would personally feel much safer knowing if he was on patrol in the neighborhood I reside in. But I do understand your plight. If there was a way that I could help resolve the issues of this district, perhaps maybe then you would look more kindly on this favor I ask.
As I said, I don't deal in favors, but I am more than happy to come to an arrangement regarding transaction of weapons. Are you acting as a representative of the at this point in time, or is this a personal business proposition?
Yes, this is a personal
Okay.
making. I am a very proficient smith.
Okay.
Therefore, I am offering what I can not in the spirit of bribery, but to help a friend. And if that requires me to help his colleagues, his captain, I would do so. My offer is earnest, but I can understand why you would be hesitant taking favors.
Considering the history of the former captain, it is neither in my interest. It is not in my interests politically, nor is it congruent with my principles. But and I wouldn't turn down an act of generosity at this time. And if if the situation within Riverside were to be resolved, and if this neighborhood were to get the treatment that it properly deserved, then naturally the amount of pressure within Riverside would dwindle. It would reduce. That would grant Christoph a reprieve. I do understand that he is overworked after all, so am I. But
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt out of character. Was he about to go on?
that's fine.
Well, Memnon will say there is some capacity that I could act as an agent of the guild hall. Something I've heard from the representatives is interests in Riverside, certain construction projects. If in that capacity I could help you, if that's what you would prefer.
If you could put more, if you could, from your position, divert more resources from the guild to these projects, would be much appreciated. It is half a point of why we are here. We are trying to secure these sites so that the masons and the cobblers and their subordinates feel that they can operate safely within these areas. It is. I'm not sure if you're aware, but it is part of why the curfew was called, because the simple fact of the matter is that the guilds rightfully did not feel that they could work safely within these areas. and that needed to be rectified immediately.
I see.
Now, these areas are being secured and work is finally getting underway. However, of better roads and the renovations of abandoned buildings would be appreciated. It would certainly hasten the process of recovery for Riverside and in turn benefit your friend. It would aid Christoph substantially. One, it would mean that with the rejuvenation of Riverside, means that there is less pressure on himself, and obviously he would I would give him the choice to transfer freely as soon as the situation in Riverside is resolved. So the faster it can be resolved, the better it is for him. And frankly, I would give him many recommendations. He has been a good man and a good soldier. And where much of the old guard succumbed to corruption, he did not. As someone else who seeks to reform the guard here, it is something I respect enormously. He would have many accolades and recommendations for myself, considering his good work prior to my new position and after it, and keeping him on certain lighter jobs at the moment simply because I do not want to risk him needlessly. He is something of an example. There were, as I stated before, most of the old guard were enormously corrupt. Some of that corruption links back to the guilds, which I'm sure Christoph would like to look into if he were to ever be assigned there.
At that mention, Memnon would raise an eyebrow. He would perhaps lean in and say, "Is that so? I tend to keep my head down."
We already have evidence that certain figures have been supplying certain armaments and luxuries to certain organizations under the table. We already know who most of them are.
Is it confessions you need? Perhaps, what's that word? When people turn themselves in?
Confessions would help, as would assistance from the captain of the guild halls, but I am to understand he's quite occupied with a series of killings within his neighborhood right now. It has not written back to me. Alas, I have been in this position for but a few days. I don't expect immediate results.
Yes, all these things take time, but you can know now that as a member of the guild and someone who cares for his fellow tradesmen, well, I would like to see the betterment of the lot of the people, both of Riverside and the guild halls, be bettered. Though I am but a smith, I do know my people. I have some connections to them. If there are those who have been aiding the criminal element of Riverside, I'll see what I can do quietly and discreetly. And lawfully, of course.
A friend of the law within the markets would be much appreciated. And you are correct. Confessions are all we need now. If you're willing to act as an avenue for that would also assist us here.
point me in the right direction. I'll see it done.
I think he's a smallest. Most of them are Guildhall. One guy from Merchant's Quarter, the other guy from Prophet's Quarter. So you've got about 5 people to go after.
Okay.
If you can get any of them to turn, one, I mean their punishment is far lesser. It would mean a hit to the guild's reputation in the short term, but I have no doubt that they will repair it in time.
It would be
much like I find that the merchants of the city are much like our imams, very charismatic. And also, you might want to spend a willpower because this guy's a Muslim.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, imams. All right. That is 1 willpower down to 6.
Excellent speakers. Unfortunately, one side of his coin finds itself in the other side of the law, I found. But if you'd aid me in fixing this, perhaps we could all be on the same side.
Yes. It would be for the best and the prosperity of this city. Memnon kind of grits his teeth.
I can't escape them. Turns out Islamophobia in a city conquered by a caliphate is impractical.
They didn't tell me this when I got on the boat. But yes, very well. Memnon will say, well, for those matters with these individuals in the guild halls, I can see to that nights. However, when it comes to these construction projects, these sites here, you did say if there was a way I could divert resources to it. Are the men lacking for money, food?
Pardon, sorry, I didn't catch the last half of that.
Memnon is essentially asking the captain, what is it that the construction workers need? Because he did mention that if I could divert resources to this, I just want to understand in what capacity they need resources.
Convince the guilds to effectively invest more money and more laborers in this operation. Basically, that's what it comes down to. Or just do the whole selling weapons at a discount thing, which helps.
Okay. Memnon considers all of these. Let me see what I can first turn up for you, but you can be assured that my help will be coming soon. And Memnon will, on his own, stand and extend a hand to the captain, feeling that this is a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll shake your hand. You have my gratitude. And I hope Riverside's as well.
Please, when you do have the time, in the case of the weapons, you can send a message with a list towards a man named Yorin. He's a merchant representative that handles my wares.
I'll do so.
Yeah. And with that, Memnon will make his way out. He'll just converse with Kristoff if he can, if he can find him, if he's still there.
Yeah. He's just seeing to another batch of arrests. Man, that is maybe a perception law.
Perception law?
Yeah,
I don't
perception
have.
law.
Yeah, I don't have.
If you don't have any law, you can make perception awareness instead.
Okay.
Actually, what dice roll are we in? I don't think we set one for the scene. Okay, let me just set one up there real quick.
I was planning on buying Law soon too. It's a good one to have.
Good on dealing with nobles in City Watch. Hey, maybe you just didn't know that carrying a sword is illegal, huh? And what's the scene called?
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna bring it up. I totally forgot. It is called Friendly Favors.
I'll do the English spelling because I'm big. There you go. Yeah, let's roll a one. Yep, just roll perception. If you don't have perception roll, just perception alertness. Difficulty will be +1 diff 7, but it is fairly kind of.
Does my acute sense come into play with sight?
Not real, not for this. It's more of like what you're seeing is easily observable. It's kind of what information you can gain from those observations. Like you can see clearly what's going on. Two successes. They're arresting a lot of people. Like they've arrested a lot. Like you literally come out 20 minutes later, and they're bringing in like 3 or 4 additional people. One, you're not sure how big those jails are, and two, just how much. You really have to wonder just how much evidence or dirt they must have on these people.
Yeah.
Like just the sheer magnitude of it. This feels to kind of give you an equivalent of what this is kind of like, in that they're just arresting groups of people. This feels like modern day Rico.
Modern day what?
It feels like this is a full-on dismantling of underworld elements in Riverside. Just the sheer amount of people, because yes, there are a lot of pushers and a lot of street level fools, and thugs and mooks, but just the sheer amount seems to suggest that all of this is just almost like it's the beginning. Like you don't just arrest as many people in one night.
No. This is
Either this is
like,
immensely corrupt, or they have a lot to work with, and they have just decided to shut down the gangs of what they have.
Every little petty thing that they used to overlook is no longer being overlooked.
It feels like, yeah, this is like a dam has burst, and this is a very professional and hardline operation being run. And most of the people you've seen so far don't look that important. It's just the sheer numbers seem to suggest that this is the first step in dismantling these entities. First the street level, then the suppliers, or the racketeers, then the kingpins. That's what it feels like. Just based on the sheer numbers of how many people are being arrested, it really feels like the atmosphere in Riverside is one of energy, rather than before it felt very hopeless.
Right.
In a very slow, stagnant way, in that everyone had kind of just stopped trying. It's just kind of this air of kind of depression over the neighborhood. Now it's sort of like there's a sort of coldness to it, but there's a very strong sense of energy to it as well.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's kind of what you get of your role. Yeah, you do see Christoph. If you want to talk to him for a bit.
Yeah, Memnon is just going to, ask him the basic generals. How are you doing? How are you holding up?
I have to say, I'm even more overworked than I was before. He doesn't look so much worse for wear, funnily enough. He's a bit more jovial about it.
Well, I can see that.
We go to one stash house, then we go to the next, we scoop some asshole off the street.
Well, it does look that your energy is being better spent.
Oh, that's a start. I was getting sick and tired of sitting outside the bloody door all night. I must say, I'm relieved to see something's finally being done. Looks like Aldine might be the right man for the job. Glad to see that cat. Glad to see the old guy's been locked up. Bloody.
Yes.
He was rolling with the pigs. He was.
Indeed, your new captain does seem to be a man of action, stand up, and moral principles.
About fucking time. Excuse my language.
Yes. I came here to offer what services I, as a smith, could. So, yeah. I would not wish to see my good friend without any more resources that could be brought to bear. I worry for you, Christoph, in this kind of iniquity.
Yeah. I've had my fair share of nicks and bruises this evening. But I'll survive, I think. I appreciate it, Master Memnon, I really do. Did you manage to work your way around Aldine's paranoia? He's a bit. He's real suspicious when people come around asking to do and for favors. Can't blame him, but he is a bit overly suspicious sometimes, and I say that as someone who's seen my fair share of bribers and bribees.
Yes, his suspicion is not without warrant, but just took an earnest proposal as someone who cares for the city at large and for my good friend, you. It is an endeavor that we all should share if we wish to see the city bettered.
Yeah, I just hope I get to do my part before I burn out.
Well, I will leave you to the progress that you have been making. There was but one thing I've wanted to ask you, Christoph. Do you have a wife, or is there a woman that you fancy marrying?
I haven't had the time to think about it, really. Why'd you ask?
Well, there is a merchant I know with a few lovely daughters, a man who I've done a favor for. I hope that when this city has finally settled itself, a man like yourself, with all the fortunes coming to you that I can see, you deserve to settle down, set roots, start a family. So, if you are in the market for someone,
In the market. That sounds like a merchant, all right. You just say, and he kind of realizes that was pretty fucking disrespectful as he says, "Oh, my apologies. I just kind of slipped out."
Oh man, no, it's all right. No, you caught Memnon on that one. But yes, if you were market for a bride, a good woman, I'd like to make the introduction. My friend, I think he would be honored to have a man of your principles and your station in this family. And you, well, when I get to introduce you, I think you would like the man.
Well, you're right. I really should be looking to settle down with a nice lady, really. But I'll get out of here first, one thing at a time. I never a side store needs me for the meantime. But well, I guess that depends. Did you get him to transfer me out, or am I still stuck here for the time being?
For the time being, he needs a man like you. Your talents and your valor is something that is in, well, dire need here. That is why I've come to offer my help, which he has accepted. So, seems in some capacities, though different, we will be working together for the betterment of Riverside. And when that is done, have your transfer.
Okay, I think I understand. Sorry, half there, but only half here. Sorry, but yes, well, I should really be getting back to it. We're probably going to be heading out again.
Of course, I will leave you to it.
It's been a hell of a few. It's been a hell of 48 hours. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, anything unique?
I don't know how many stash houses Riverside has, but I'm pretty sure we've hit all of them, considering just how many we've hit. Pretty much all the guys we have there right now are just idiots sent to guard it. But we'll get more out of them soon enough. And we'll find out where the real foundations of this, well, where the real head of the snake is.
Oh man, Memnon's just gonna have a creeping smile on his face. That's a good expression. Yes. At least it's not a hydra.
Oh, but there's so many snakes. But you can trust me to resolve that, and you can trust the captain. And thanks for all your help. I really mean it.
Not thank me just yet. The time is still young. We will see in the coming days what much greater progress we can make. And until then, my friend, I will leave you to your business, as now I must embark upon mine.
See you. I'll see you when I can, Mr. Menlon.
And yeah, Memnon will just shake his hand.
Yeah. And yeah, be on your way. And I think there is all we can end the scene. Thank you, player, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. And see you all next time.